It seems to me that that decade that William and Kate have been married has gone by in a flash. However, it's the next 10 years that are going to prove absolutely pivotal when it comes to how William and Kate position themselves as a future king and queen. They aren't here just to unveil plaques and plant trees. Impactfulness is the buzzword behind palace gates as far as the Cambridges are concerned. Well, it's hard to believe it's been 10 years since the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge married. In that decade, obviously they've produced 3 children, but I think they've cemented their role as key frontline royals, preparing to be the next Prince and Princess of Wales, but equally carving their own path as a formidable duo. The great thing about William and Kate is they do seem to complement each other really well. So there's an equality to their relationship. One doesn't outshine the other. They are a partnership. William has some star quality because he's Princess Diana's son. And then, of course, Kate has some star quality because she's known as the royal who hasn't put a foot wrong and is compared often to the Queen for her quiet confidence. I think when you talk about how the Cambridges kind of handle the pressure of the job, by their own admission, they're both quite shy, introverted people. Their juxtaposition to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex when they were on the royal scene was quite interesting. Harry and Meghan were intrinsically much, much different people to William and Kate. But what we've seen since the departure of the Sussexes is this sense of them not only borrowing from the Sussex playbook when it comes to perhaps making announcements on Instagram, there's also this sense as well, I think, of people appreciating the fact that there is a subtlety to the Cambridges. Yes, they put themselves out there when they need to, but it's kind of done always in a quite considered manner. It isn't too brash or seemingly attention-seeking.
We have 10 years to fundamentally fix our planet.
Well, I think the next decade for William and Kate is going to be pivotal for a number of reasons. First of all, they're both approaching their 40s, and I think the years between 40 and 50 for any person are really influential, important when it comes to the job that they do and the life that they lead with their children. And they're going to be having to manage this hugely high-profile public role with significant milestones in their own private life, and they're trying to get the balance right between being hands-on parents, but equally with this desire from the public to see more of them and demand from the monarchy for them to carry on ramping up their public service, because it's going to be expected as the Queen gets older, and indeed when transition comes, they are the next Prince and Princess of Wales.
And mental health has now, at last, moved into the mainstream as part of our daily lives.
However, the work isn't done yet, and we cannot afford to stop here.
As you're approaching your 40s, what you're doing in your royal life, I think, needs to have a degree of course, credibility, but also longevity and impact. Impactfulness is the buzzword behind palace gates as far as the Cambridges are concerned. The trajectory for the Cambridges is this direction. They only get more and more important as time goes on, literally to the point where they're a king and queen, and therefore the gravitas of everything they're doing, I think, increases on the same path. One of the qualities that's going to help them enormously is this degree to which there is equilibrium in their relationship. And we use the closest comparison we can, I think, which is the Queen and Prince Philip. This idea of balancing each other out. The problems set in for Charles and Diana when Diana became the more popular and Charles resented her for it. We haven't seen any evidence of that over the last 10 years, because I think Kate's nature is that she's quite happy to take a step back, but equally William, because he is innately quite shy and quite like his wife in character, he's also willing to take a step back at times and let Kate shine. That's going to be a really important attribute as they go forward together as a couple into this increasingly high-profile royal role. When Charles becomes king, they will be next in line, shouldering the burden of his responsibilities and really front and centre of royal life, even more so in the absence of Prince Harry and Meghan. And that's going to put a huge amount of pressure on them as individuals and as a couple to basically perform in public. It's no surprise, is it, that we've had in recent times Prince William introduce long initiatives like the Earthshot Prize, which is like a legacy project for the environment that is going to last for the next 10 years.
And the plan is to really galvanise and bring together the best minds, the best possible solutions to fixing and tackling some of the world's greatest environmental challenges.
Equally, when you talk to people close to Kate, this early years project is something that she's going to be working on for life.
The early years are therefore not simply just about how we raise our children. They are, in fact, about how we raise the next generation of adults.
They aren't here just to unveil plaques and plant trees. They're trying to create initiatives that actually enact change. That was what Heads Together was all about. Let's start a national conversation about mental health. So I think we're going to be seeing sort of less tree planting and more macro initiatives from the couple as they assume greater status. And I think it's these big projects, these big initiatives that are going to characterise the next 10 years of William and Kate's lives.